नेपाल इन्जिनियर्स एसोसिएसनद्वारा आयोजित NEA विकली टक प्रोग्राममा यहाँ भौतिक रूपमा उपस्थित हुनुभएका तथा आज हाम्रो युट्युब च्यानलबाट लाइभमा जोडिनुभएका सम्पूर्ण आदरणीय इन्जिनियर तथा आर्किटेक्ट महानुभावहरू तथा अन्य महानुभावहरूमा म इन्जिनियर अनिल मानन्दर यस संस्थाको महासचिव तथा सम्पूर्ण NEA कार्य समितिको तर्फबाट हजुरहरूलाई स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छौँ। र आज हामी सदा चाहिँ NEA विकली टक प्रोग्राममा रहेको छौँ र आजको टपिक रहेको छ इन्टरसेक्सन्स अफ AI एन्ड साइबर सेक्युरिटी इन ग्रिड भन्ने टपिकमा हामी टक प्रोग्राम गर्न गइरहेका छौँ। र आजको यस टपिकमा एज अ डिस्टिङ्ग्विस्ड स्पिकर भएर हाम्रो प्रेजेन्ट हुनुहुन्छ इन्जिनियर रुपेश कुमार साहब। उहाँ हाल एज अ लेक्चरर IUE पुल्चोक क्याम्पस र अल्सो एज अ लेक्चरर हिलसाइड कलेज अफ इन्जिनियरिङमा एज अ लेक्चररको रूपमा कार्यरत हुनुहुन्छ। र आजको हाम्रो यस टपिकमा रहेर हुने प्रेजेन्टेसनको ब्रिफ एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट म हजुरलाई भन्न चाहन्छु। दिस सेसन एक्सप्लोर्स द भाइटल intersections of AI and cyber security within modern power grids. As grids become smarter and more interconnected, they are increasingly vulnerable to cyber threats that can disrupt stability, reliability, and safety. This talk highlights the role of AI in identifying, predicting, and mitigating such cyber risks, offering intelligent defense strategies for resilient grid operation. Engineering research in this field is critical not only from the perspective of securing infrastructure, but also in ensuring sustainable and reliable energy for the future. सो यो एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट भित्र रहेर चाहिँ हाम्रो प्रेजेन्टर सरले चाहिँ आज हाम्रो प्रेजेन्टेसन राख्नुहुनेछ। र बिफोर स्टार्टिङ विथ द प्रेजेन्टेसन म हाम्रो प्रेजेन्टर सरको ब्रिफ इन्ट्रोडक्सन हामीले स्क्रिनमा पनि देख्न सक्छौँ। इन्जिनियर शाह इज अ रिसर्चर इन पावर सिस्टम हु हेज पब्लिस्ड 6 रिसर्च papers in reputed national and international journals addressing real world challenges of modern power grids. He is currently serving as a part-time lecturer. हाम्रो प्रेजेन्टर सरको ब्रिफ इन्ट्रोडक्सन हामीले स्क्रिनमा पनि देख्न सक्छौँ। इन्जिनियर शाह इज अ रिसर्चर इन पावर सिस्टम हु हेज पब्लिस्ड 6 रिसर्च papers in reputed national and international journals addressing real-world challenges of modern power grids. He is currently serving as a part-time lecturer. हाम्रो प्रेजेन्टर सरको ब्रिफ introduction हामीले स्क्रिनमा पनि देख्न सक्छौँ। इन्जिनियर शाह इज अ रिसर्चर इन पावर सिस्टम हु हेज पब्लिस्ड 6 रिसर्च papers in reputed national and international journals addressing real world challenges of modern power grids. He is currently serving as a part-time lecturer. हाम्रो प्रेजेन्टर सरको ब्रिफ introduction हामीले स्क्रिनमा पनि देख्न सक्छौँ। इन्जिनियर शाह इज अ रिसर्चर इन पावर सिस्टम हु हेज पब्लिस्ड 6 रिसर्च papers in reputed national and international journals addressing real-world challenges of modern power grids. He is currently serving as a part-time lecturer. हाम्रो प्रेजेन्टर सरको ब्रिफ एज अ इन्ट्रोडक्सन हामीले स्क्रिनमा पनि देख्न सक्छौँ। इन्जिनियर शाह इज अ रिसर्चर इन पावर सिस्टम हु हेज पब्लिस्ड 6 रिसर्च papers in reputed national and international journals addressing real-world challenges of modern power grids. He is currently serving as a part-time lecturer. हाम्रो प्रेजेन्टर सरको ब्रिफ एज अ इन्ट्रोडक्सन हामीले स्क्रिनमा पनि देख्न सक्छौँ। इन्जिनियर शाह इज अ रिसर्चर इन पावर सिस्टम हु हेज पब्लिस्ड 6 रिसर्च papers in reputed national and international journals addressing real-world challenges of modern power grids. He is currently serving as a part-time lecturer. हाम्रो प्रेजेन्टर सरको ब्रिफ एज अ इन्ट्रोडक्सन हामीले स्क्रिनमा पनि देख्न सक्छौँ। इन्जिनियर शाह इज अ रिसर्चर इन पावर सिस्टम हु हेज पब्लिस्ड 6 रिसर्च papers in reputed national and international journals addressing real-world challenges of modern power grids. He is currently serving as a part-time lecturer.
also vulnerable. So there are multiple ways that the system can be attacked. Here you can see in the diagram that the different types of nodes, these are connected at a point, and there is the chances, there is the probability of that the system being threat. Actually, why we need AI and cybersecurity to protect our grid? So this is the main concern of these presentations. Before starting, let us discuss about the cybersecurity and the AI, that what is its role of our system and grid. Let's start from the cybersecurity. The cybersecurity, it actually divided into, it works in three platforms. That is called CID. That is the confidentiality, that is the integrity, and the availability. Confidentiality means the data that we have should not be like attacked by anyone. It should be protected. Integrity means the data that we have is only accessible to some authorized persons. And the third one is the availability. As the real-time process, the data should be available at users or at nodes at the public. So some data must be available at that level. And the AI is actually inside. It comes to the cybersecurity. It means that by the use of AI, we make the cybersecurity more strengthy, because it has the algorithm. I will discuss later that how AI will enhance the cybersecurity. Before that, before directly goes to the cyber security and different types of algorithm, first we must ensure about that how the world is being affected by cyber attack. So we have some examples that the cyber attack creates a huge loss in the past. For example, that is the aurora generator test. It actually happens to initially by the beginning of the artificial intelligence. It was a type of test that how cyber attack can damage the instrument. So this is the type one generator. Its capacity was 2 megawatt, and it was firstly tested cyber attack, and the result was like the generator was totally damaged, and it starts that why we need cyber security. The second one is Stuxnet. Actually, this cyber attack was in Iran nuclear power. At that time, the power grid was attacked. It totally destroyed the PLC system, that is called the programming logic control, that we use to protect our grid and the supply chain. So it in this attack, total PLC system was destroyed using the cyber attack. This is the SALT typhoon. It is actually the trending cyber attack. SALT typhoon. It is not the grid type of attack. It is actually the cyber software-based attack. This is the currently. It's begin from the 2023, and according to this attack, most of the social media platform that we are using, for example, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So these data are being leaked. So the US companies or US authorities claimed that there are the Chinese agents who are continuously trying to attack their service, that their data. So this is the SAR typhoon. But we do major concern about the Volt typhoon. In 2015 and 2016, Russia attacked on the Ukraine power grid using the cyber attack. So in that attack, major parts of the Ukraine power grid was totally destructed at the time. So it detections, threshold based alarm. It means that when the system reaches the value before the threshold value, it directly presses the system that the system being attacked. For example, like fire alarm we put in our homes, what happens? The temperature suddenly rises and it detects that, oh no, the system gets, the building gets fired and we should get out from the building. Similarly, access control and fire prevent unauthorized entry. So these are also come, and its main limitation is that when the system is gradually attacked, means for example our system frequency is 50 hertz and some attacker make it 52 or 53, then the traditional system cannot detect. It actually thinks that it is the noise, it is the simple fluctuations, but the system was being hacked. Now come to the dynamic differences that we are really talking about right now. It's the machine learning algorithm. It actually learned from the past data. In past, what was the attack? Earlier I told like aura generator test, like Stuxnet, like Volt Typhoon. So these are the attack that happened in past. So by learning how the our system behaves in that attack, it stores those data, and then whenever in future so same things will happen, similarities will happen, it reads and inform us that the system will going to attack. So in that case we will be safer. The another is uh, IDS, intrusion detection system. It continuously monitor our system, and when abnormal behavior happen in the system, it informs us. And the third one is the reinforcement learning. Yeah, it's the most important topic in the machine learning in the cyber security that we are mostly focused on today. So how it works, the reinforcement learning in the cyber security? uh, uh, Take it as an example, the good example. Reinforcement learning means in machine learning, it reads or it trains from the past data, but in reinforcement learning, it learns from the present conditions, it learns from the environment, it learns from the present situation, that right now what is happening in the environment. In the first, the defender may be the AI system, but it is the agent. It directly does not protect the system, but it informs cybersecurity that the system is that it informs the cybersecurity that to operate the system. And finally, after informing the cybersecurity, the defense works, and its goal is to make the system resilient. Furthermore, I will explain in detail about the reinforcement learning in next slide. That is shown in here in graph. We can see here that the reinforcement learning is actually works like this. Sometimes we can see in the first paragraph, for example, node 1, node 2, node 1 and node 3, node 1 and node 4. So these nodes are actually communicate to each other by any way, by any condition. If node 1 is being attacked, okay, so node 1 is being attacked, then what is actually happening there? Node 1 is connected to node 3, node 4, node 2, every node. And after being attacked, if the defender path detects it as a noise, means it do not changes its path, and then it directly does not differentiate its path, means when it detects the attack, it have to changes the communication path. If the path do not changes, then attack is not successful. Okay, so the system being attacked, if the defender understand it as a noise and bypass it, it do not changes its communication path, then the system being attacked. But the defender path changes its communication channel. That is, now we can see in the first two diagram, above diagram, we see the node 2 is still connected to node 1 but not connected to node 4. If there was the attack in system 1, it should changes its communicate path, and then node 3 should be communicate with node 4. In this case, the attack is failed. So the cybersecurity
We
main
see
purpose
the
is to changes its
node
community
2 is
path.
still
Node
connected
3
to node
makes
1 but
monitoring
not
any
connected to node
failure or
4.
any attack
If
in
there
this node.
was the
This is
attack in
how the
system
law
1,
enforcement
it should
government
changes
works in the
its
cybersecurity.
communicate path, and then node 3 should be communicate with node 4.
Confusion
In this
matrix.
case, the attack is
Confusion
failed. So the
matrix. So the
cybersecurity
matrix
we
main
see
purpose, the confusion
the
matrix does
node
confusion like
2
that.
is
This
still
number,
connected to
so
node 1 but
finally,
not connected to
in
node 4.
this matrix,
If there
what
was
the
the attack in system 1, it should
notifies
changes
how
its
we set our
communicate path,
models.
and then node 3
How
should be
we set
communicate
our
with node
models
4. In this
based
case,
on
the attack
the effect
is
confusion
failed. So
matrix
the
has
cybersecurity
models.
we
Has
see
models. The
the
cybersecurity matrix
changes
does
node
step
2
like that.
is
So
still
how this
connected to
matrix
node
looks
1
like
but
this.
not connected to
We
node
have
4.
this matrix.
If there was
So
the
this
attack in system 1, it should changes its communicate path, and then node 3 should be communicate with node 4. In this case, the attack is failed. So the cybersecurity we see the changes node 2 is still connected to node 1 but not connected to node 4. If there was the attack in system 1, it should changes its communicate path, and then node 3 should be communicate with node 4. In this case, the attack is failed. So the cybersecurity we see the changes node 2 is still connected to node 1 but not connected to node 4. If there was the attack in system 1, it should changes its communication path, and then node 3 should be communicated with node 4. In this case, the attack is failed. So the cybersecurity we see the changes node 2 is still connected to node 1 but not connected to node 4. If there was the attack in system 1, it should changes its communication path, and then
The system
node 3 should be communicated with node 4.
the system
In
is
this case, the attack is failed. So the cybersecurity we see
makes our
changes node 2 is still connected to node 1 but not connected to node 4. If there was the attack in system 1, it should changes its communication path, and then node 3 should be communicated with node 4.
I am also very glad to share some of these parts like in this presentation I have included here. In this research, I use the artificial intelligence algorithm to detect the fault. I have also modeled Maharajganj hospital feeder that lies in a main distribution feeder. So there are 14 number of transformers there. I use every section in this MATLAB simulations, and the result shows how we protect our systems. Now we see that how the system is being operated. Initially, what I did in that research is, first of all, I make a distribution system model. I make two-bus model system, and there I introduce the fault in different sections. I divided the total length is 100 equal parts. In each equal parts, I introduce faults one at a time. We have considered 10 different kinds of fault. Yeah, 10 different kinds of fault. That is the line to ground, line fault, RY, RG. Different kinds of fault I introduced in each sections, and then read all those data. And after that, I train AI model using those data. The most and the federated learning is much advanced than the